Hello everyone, welcome back to a new YouTube cast. Today we're going to be having a look at a game between top right spawning as the red Terran's going to be Time, playing for team Kaisi. I believe the same team that Innovation is on. And the bottom left spawning as the blue Zerg, it's going to be DPG Dark, also known as Dragon Phoenix Gaming. It's a mouthful, that's okay because he's one hell of a player. As we see him heading for that hatchery on the low ground, as is very standard. I mean, there's really no other way to do it. Hatchery on the high ground is not something we see very often. Ice and Chrome is one of those maps where I believe a lot of the Terrans that I've asked, they don't really like this for bio. They say it's a decent map for meching, but for bio it's just a little bit too long. Which usually is good for the Zerg player. They can get extra drones in against the initial pushes. There's not a lot of good spaces either for early game harassment, I feel like. There's not that much dead space. A little bit of dead space over here. I guess there's a little bit here, but it's not ideal if you compare it to some of the other maps where harassment becomes a lot easier. It's also an easy map to control the first 4 bases for Zerg. Relatively easily. Tank pushers can't really do that much. Early drops are easily spotted, so I would not be surprised to see mech here coming out of Time. On the other hand, Time does strike me as the type of player that does like his bio. He's a guy that really thrives when he plays bio. He had one hell of a series last year against Serral at the Aces Rock Assembly Summer in the, I believe it was the quarterfinal, where Time ended up losing 3-2, but he looked extremely strong in a couple of games against an absolutely unleashed Serral at that event. I think Serral did end up losing in the finals to Stats, but a very, very strong ZVT back then, and Time with a very good TVZ as well. Let's see if some of that still remains, as we see a second gas going down, indicating that there's going to be usually some more harass-based style. We might see a Liberator, we might even see something like Banshee. If a third gas goes down, we might even see something like a battle cruiser come out. It's not going to be an extremely fast 3rd-CC. Now, of course, it can still be a quick 3rd-CC, but I mean, most of the time it still is going to be a relatively fast 3rd-CC. But it could have been faster, and that second gas is gonna basically prevent that. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. We only see single worker mining, so a lot of these workers will remain on the minerals. Make sure that you get a lot of mineral saturation. There's only a little bit of gas being added here. Starport goes down straight away. Cars will start coming out as we see the orbital starting at the natural. Now it's kind of interesting to see. Okay, it's going to be a tech lab. Pretty standard. Could still mean that it's just going to be Stim here for Time and then either a Viking or Liberator coming out. It could also be that he needs to swap this barracks with this starport. To try and get some type of Banshees out, perhaps. First 2 cars do come out of the... Wait, what? What got a lift here? Okay, yeah, so it's gonna be Banshee, I believe. I would be very, very surprised if it's not Banshee. It could still be Fusion Core, I guess. But like I said, Time is one of those guys that really likes to play bio, and Banshee is just a little better going into bio. Single battle cruiser into bio was popular if we move back 6-7 months in time, but nowadays has been pretty much figured out by Zerg. Usually puts Zerg in a good position. It's important to note how many cars are going to be made here. So far it seems like 6. Maybe he'll throw down 7 and 8 as well. It has become more popular again. For a while we'd seen 4, 6 really be the max amount of Hellions you go when you play bio. Nowadays it seems that the Terrans don't care as much anymore. They can easily go up to 8. We've seen some builds actually. There's a double factory build where you get fast blue flame Hellions, and they still go into bio afterwards. I think I saw a game between Hero Marine and Raynor, I want to say, in which Hero Marine built something like 27 Hellions and then went into bio afterwards. Now, the reason why that's uncommon is because the more Hellions you buy, the harder it is to afford your barracks, because Hellions are very mineral intensive, and barracks, well, you need minerals for them as well. So usually the more Hellions you build, the later your barracks are going to be, meaning that your follow-up push either is just going to hit later or it's just going to hit weaker. So yeah, not completely ideal for if you want to hit good timings. Now we do of course see these 2 barracks go down right now. 2 E-base is going to be the follow-up, as we see this Banshee just patrolling, trying to keep this creep basically from expanding too far forward. Let's send the Banshee back now. He must be afraid of something. Did he spot roaches, or... Oh, he's just gonna try to kill the Overlord on the high ground? Follows up with a Raven. Now this is something I haven't seen a lot, honestly. Usually you see double Banshee and then try to get some kills in with Cloak, but here going into the Raven. So perhaps going to be playing around denying a lot of creep and then attacking a fort base. So the problem is that the Raven, once it gets hit a couple of times, it just becomes a lot harder to fly around with it, right? So you need to be very, very careful when you control it. It does have a lot of utility going into the mid game as well, though, if you do keep it alive. Now, I would some hits being given here on the Hellions. Time really wants to go to this bottom side, because this is going to be the key area, right? Your push most of the time is going to be hitting close to the fort base. So if you can deny any creep there, it means that your Marines, and perhaps with a tank or two, will be able to do a lot more damage, perhaps even cancel the fort base. So we'll see if that is the plan here for Time, as he does seem to be very focused around that fort base. You see he's making a rotation towards the bottom side. I mean, this is just going to get spotted, so it shouldn't really be that big of a deal. Dark, if he responds, even if he responds slowly, should be able to semi-defend this creep. It's going to lose 1 or 2 tumors, but not the end of the world. Queens are in position, will be able to rebuild these tumors immediately. There's a good army out here for Time as well, as we see Fast Spire. Well, it's not really a Fast Spire, actually, just a Spire. After 1-1 upgrades, after Baneling speed as well. So, Dark just playing a very solid early game. He's gonna have pretty quick upgrades, honestly. Armory is going down already here for Time, who is setting up to do his first little real push. So far it's just been pokes, and it hasn't been too effective. Like, not much has happened in the early game, and with this Raven actually the creep disappears very, very quickly. Banelings are ready right now. Ooh, good anti-seeker or anti-armor missile being used here. Combat shield is not done yet. 1-1 is not done yet either. I feel like this push has no real potential without combat shield, without 1-1 being done. +1 infantry weapons finishes up right now. Melee attacks is about to finish up as well. Carapace is getting close for Dark. So Dark wants to wait for 1-1 and Time wants to wait for combat shield. So both of them are waiting for a very similar timing. I wouldn't be surprised if Dark just goes the moment 1-1 finishes. Oh, he's actually setting up a run by. I love that. Marines are out of position. 1 tank goes down. Banshee is trying to help out over here. Low worker count though for Time. There's a couple of Banelings. We're gonna need to see a quick response here coming out of Time. Yeah, good stim. We'll get all of these Banelings. Loses a couple of Marines. That's not going to be the end of the world. Hellbats are in position as well. Drilling Claws on the way. 11 Mutalisks. Once these Mutas are out, this army is pretty much doomed. I already feel like this army is doomed at this point. There's no reinforcements. That has been coming here for a while. Once again, Marines are moving forward. I feel like Time wants to make some type of trade here, but I don't think the trade here is going to be great. Good flank coming in from that top side as well. Mutas will be here to clean it all up. Ooh, is there no boost? No boost available, so these medevacs are going to fall. And we just see Dark Pula have massively in supply right now. That's going to be an issue for Time, who hasn't been playing a terrible game, just hasn't really been able to do very much. I mean, his work count feels pretty big at the moment. He's in a fine position. It's just that he's down in army. It feels like he's been playing okay. It's just Dark has been too free. It's the job of the Terran to try and deny some type of the drones getting too high too quickly, and Dark has been basically chilling at 75, 76 drones during that entire push, meaning he was ahead in eco. Now he's going to take a 5th base and it's going to go up to 85, 86 workers, and that's when Time is really going to be in trouble, because the trades that Dark can take at that point with that kind of eco are going to be absolutely insane. You see the Mutas going ham as well. There is 1 Tor out, there is 16 Mutalisks, but just kind of fly through the Tor shot. As they pick up a couple of SCVs, scout for a fort base, not there yet. Fort base has finished up, will be flying towards the bottom side. Dark is going to be pretty happy to see that, I believe. +2 infantry weapons is finishing up. This CC is really low, by the way. I love this little depot wall, I like this mine as well. Making sure that any type of linked Bane run by is going to be harder to achieve. Planetary should start morphing in, here we go. 3 mules do fall down. We have the extra barracks being added right now, so we'll be going up to 8 barracks. It's already on 2 factory, of course. Very, very standard setup. Infestation pit is going down here for Dark, who will be teching up to Hive to get those additional up. Ooh, that's a big mistake for Dark. He should not have been flying in there. A little bit of a miscontrol. I don't think it cost him anything. Might have lost 1 Muta, but yeah, it's not really the end of the world, right? 1 Muta. That kind of mistake could have cost him way more Mutas. Once again, very, very, I don't want to say sloppy, but very close to the edge here with the Muralisk. He's morphing in 14 more banelings, adding to the 21 will get up to 35 banes. 2-2 is not quite done yet. And he forgot his carapace upgrades actually, which is a big deal because carapace upgrade is really one of the only things that truly matters for the Zerg, as the Marines will be able to do less damage to both the Lynx and the Banes. Usually you see carapace also getting the priority because of that. I'm not sure what happened here, but I want to say it was just a mine drop of some sort. I love this little drop forward. Could even probably defend this with the torch if the Mutas try to fly in. Bailing run by heading in towards this 3rd base. Marines are in position. Marauders are joining as well. Ridge depot, or what do you call it? The double depot is coming in. Thors are semi in position. These Marines can protect these though. I think just Ling Bane should do fine there. What's the mine count at? Okay, there is 9 mines. 3 of those are over here. It's going to be able to get 5-6 workers. Just 3 it seems like. 1 more mine over here. Get some Muralisk. No workers though. Mines quickly spreading around the map, making sure to cover some of the important paths. Definitely should burrow this though. It's also gonna need a couple more depots. Yeah, 3-3 on the way. Way before Dark starts it. Dark starts it now, but +2 carapace is really far behind. Which means there's going to be a big timing here for time where it's going to have a massive upgrade lead. Now, of course, not the biggest of the duos if your opponent has a 4k bank. I think Dark definitely should be able to bridge that. There's not that many mines here. Oh, he forgot the micro there for a second. A rookie move. A lot of big mine hits though. A lot of the banelings detonating immediately as well. I don't think that was a great fight here for Dark, as he is behind in the units lost, but as he's been up in mining all game already, it still seems like an okay situation. You can't be taking too many fights like that. That really did feel like a bad fight. I love the drop here on the bottom side as well. Actually getting some value, not only in dealing damage, but also perhaps being able to get something done here on the top side. I was thinking maybe clearing some more creep, but instead his time is going to be spent chasing this little baning run by. Wasn't actually so little. It's going to get 3 workers for his efforts. But I think time is going to be completely content with that. As Carapace finally does finish up here for Dark. Good scan here coming out of Time, by the way, who sees that there is a base over here. Wouldn't be surprised to see a drop heading out there. Time is very, very good at those these pesky little drops. I mean, it's only 8 Marines, but they definitely can kill a base if they have sufficient upgrades. Good splits here with the mines. It's kind of pre-splitting mines, so that when he burrows them, they shouldn't all be able to get hit by banelings. As I say that, 4 banelings to 3 mines. Not the most brilliant engagement there. Marauder doesn't get picked up, gets left behind. It's the Kerrigan Marauder. So we have, how many Thors do we have? We have 3 Thors, we have 4 mines. I really feel like mine production should be added more. Oh no, accidentally attacks the rocks. A lot of Marauders running away as well. Usually what you see in these situations is that the Marauders stay behind to try and tank the Baneling shots. It seems like that Time prefers microing in one big chunk and just going for splits or moving back, rather than the more common approach of keeping the Marauders in the front and then the Marines moving back. Thor still zoning out the Mutalisk, of course. That's the beauty of that composition, is that you just run back the Marines, the Marauders tank, and the Thors deal with the Mutalisk, making sure that it can be Marauder against Mutalisk. This army is getting chased all around the map, by the way. Very aggressive plays here coming out of Time against a Dark who... I mean, he's gonna get shit in this plating as well as +3 attack right now. This is the micro I was talking about, by the way. Still, I feel like decent trades. It's difficult to say sometimes how these trades actually look money-wise. This is a big run by. He's gonna be able to get a planetary, I hope. That's a big investment. Yeah, there's not enough at home actually to defend. A couple more Marines, Marauders are streaming in. These barracks will have to get lifted, or they will have a similar fate as that planetary fortress. Oh, what a miss rally coming out of Time here. This army is being split up as well, so there's no Thors with this army. Good pickup, so it's a base for a base, but 20 workers have also gone down. Banelings are still alive. Burrow has completed. He's gonna be able to get into the mineral line, right? No, he decides to just keep moving on. I'm not sure why that was. 55 workers against 82, 1.5k income against currently 2k for Dark, but once he starts saturating this base and this base gets up again, he should be able to get a way higher income, but perhaps we won't even need to wait for that as he's moving in. Banelings are taking out everything on the ground, Mutalitsk are also taking out everything on the ground, and a remax with Ultras, Lynx, 195 supply here for Dark against the mere 100 for time. It is looking kind of rough. +2 air attacks is about to finish up. There's good creep spread, so even a counter attack where perhaps you can get straight into the production is kind of out of the question here. And even if he could, I mean, he's just half the army supply as well. 64 against 112 lot. Oh my god, look at the income here. This is gonna rise real quick. 3.4, 3.5, 3.7 I saw. Look at these. Oh, these mules, they work so hard, guys. 10 mules, 4.2. 47 workers against 80, and he managed to peak at 4.2, so his supply is going to rise very rapidly if he has the production to spend this money. He has 8 barracks, 2 factories, and a starport. He should be able to spend a good chunk of that. Big SCV reproduction as well here, and he still has a decent amount of bases. It might actually be possible for him to kind of come back into this game, both army-wise and economically as well. The only problem is there's so much creep right now, and giving a player like Dark this much time usually does not end well for the Terran, as we see 6 more SCVs in production. Time scrambling to get a defense in position, but I think Lynx are just going to be enough here. Banelings will be right-clicking the planetary. GG gets called as Dark wins this game. Now, if you did enjoy it, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, leave a thumbs up, comment what series you would love to see next, and if I can get the replays of that, perhaps I can do it. Thank you very much, and see you all next time. Bye-bye.